So let's begin with the first section of our lecture, that is on the concussion. As I've already told you, that concussion is a mild type of traumatic brain injury. We will see in this section what is the mechanism of concussion injury, the changes that take place in brain and amnesia, and the mechanism of blast injury affecting brain. Let's continue our section. So, concussion is a form of minor head injury which had in the past referred to an immediate and transient loss of consciousness that was associated with a short period of amnesia. But the patients were not necessarily associated with loss of consciousness after a minor head injury or a concussion. So, they are dazed or confused, or they might feel stunned or starstruck. So now the term concussion is applied to all the cognitive and perceptual changes that are experienced after a blow to the head. Severe concussion may precipitate a brief convulsion or several autonomic signs. Uh, what are the autonomic signs? These include facial pallor, bradycardia, faintness with mild hypotension, sluggish pupillary reaction. And all these autonomic signs quickly return to a neurologically normal state. If we talk about the mechanism of concussion injury, we say that concussion is a traumatic brain injury that changes the way your brain functions. So, the brain is made up of soft tissue and it is protected by blood and spinal fluid. When the skull is jolted too fast or is impacted by something, the brain shifts and hits against the skull. Due to this shifting and hitting of the skull, this leads to a bruising and swelling of the brain, as the brain is made up of soft tissue. So, whenever the brain hits, it leads to tearing of blood vessels and it can cause injury to nerves, causing the concussion. Mostly, concussions are mild and they can be treated with appropriate care, but if they left untreated, they can be very deadly. In other words, we say that whenever head hits a blunt stationary object, there is sudden deceleration of the head. Due to this sudden deceleration, the brain there is anterior posterior movement of the brain within the skull due to inertia. Now, what is inertia? Inertia is basically the property of matter with which a subject stays in its existing state of rest or uniform motion in straight line unless that state is changed by an external force. So, rotation of cerebral hemispheres occur on the fulcrum of relatively fixed upper brain stem, which leads to concussion and it can cause a lot of damage inside the brain. We already said that concussion can lead to loss of consciousness. What are the reasons by which a person can go into a state of unconsciousness? The two theories have been proposed. First is that there are transient electrophysiologic dysfunction of reticular activating system in the upper midbrain that is present at the point of rotation, which can lead to loss of consciousness. And the other theory says that there is transmission of a wave of kinetic energy throughout the brain that causes the loss of consciousness. Now, what are the changes that take place in brain after a concussion? The gross and light microscopic changes are usually absent in case of concussion because concussions are normally mild. There are certain biochemical and ultrastructural changes found, which include mitochondrial ATP depletion and there is local disruption of the blood brain barrier. Other than that, we can find certain findings on CT and MRI scans. CT and MRI scans are usually normal, but if the concussion is severe, there can be a skull fracture, an intracranial hemorrhage, or a brain contusion. Now, we said that concussion can also lead to amnesia or loss of memory. we will see what is the mechanism with which a person suffers through amnesia. The characteristic of concussion is brief retrograde and anterograde amnesia. Retrograde and anterograde amnesia means that the person is unable to recall the past events, and he's also unable to memorize to learn new memories. Amnesia usually recedes rapidly if the patient is alert, but the memory loss spans moments before impact, and it may encompass previous days or weeks. Now, retrograde amnesia, it correlates with the severity of injury. Memory is regained, but it very erratically, in an erratic manner, from most distant to more recent, with islands of amnesia remaining in between. We don't know the mechanism of amnesia. There is a proposition of hysterical post-traumatic amnesia. It is suspected when the person is performing certain inexplicable behavioral abnormalities, such as recounting events that cannot be recalled on later testing, or certain bizarre effects like forgetting one's own name. Or it is also suspected when the persistent anterograde deficit is greater as compared to the degree of injury. A single uncomplicated concussion infrequently produces permanent neurobehavioral changes. In patients, especially in patients who are free of pre-existing psychiatric and neurologic problems. Otherwise, there are certain residual problems in memory and concentration are found. They may have an anatomic correlate in microscopic cerebral lesions if a person has permanent neurobehavioral change. What is the mechanism of blast injury affecting brain? It is not known, but whenever the blast injury enters the cranium, it enters through either the openings of orbits, auditory canals, or foramen magnum. And there are no consistent changes in cerebral imaging in case of a blast injury, but there are subtle indications of tissue disruption found. We are not but able to differentiate the direct effects of blast from the consequences of being thrown against fixed objects or injured by flying debris. So this was all about the mechanism of concussion, and we saw the mechanism of injury affecting the brain after blast injury, and we talked about amnesia. Thank you for watching Scadia.com.